Geniuses turn to ban. Vici Gaming's turn to ban. Evil Geniuses turn to pick.
Invoker.
Vici Gaming's turn to pick.
Spirit Breaker.
Vici Gaming's turn to pick. Evil Geniuses turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Evil Geniuses turn to ban. Vici Gaming's turn to ban. Evil Geniuses turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Vici Gaming's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the MarsTV Dota 2 League. We've got a really big match coming your way. The draft has already begun, so we're going to hop right into it. It's EG taking on Vici here. EG needing the 2-0 to have a shot at taking the group. I believe then they would have the tie-ins Vici, and things would get very spicy in Group A, which is looking to be a pretty strong group. And with that, well, the bans and picks are, as mentioned, well underway. So what do we got here, Ben? We see the OD first phase ban. They are going to take the Invoker this time. So EG has changed up the drafting strategy from yesterday.
They really have. They have first pick this time, and
Yeah, they had it before, and they were
Sadly,
taking Batrider.
yeah, sadly we didn't get to watch the whole thing, but
So-
usually they pick Ven pretty early on, but they've actually kind of left it in. Yeah, they went for Bat yesterday, kind of ignored Invoker and got crushed.
Yeah, so
As a
Vici
result.
Vici don't only run IO that much right now. So they don't ban it, which was something they were banning against OG, along with the Venge. because they wanted to pick the Bat Rider as well. So with the Bat not being
Reserve
picked
time.
early and Vici not running all that much IO in this patch, I guess they feel they don't have to worry about those heroes. So they change it up. We saw the FY Jungle Night Stalker 4 position get the really fast Ags yesterday with the Iron Talon. So they banned the Night Stalker here in phase number 1, and they're going to go a little bit greedier with their picks, the Invoker, Lone Druid. So they get the dual core. As for Vici, they banned the Void, who we've not seen as much of on this, at least on the mainstream here when we were casting yesterday. And the Earth Spirit gets first phase ban now. And in fact, 2 more big tempo controllers, Earthshaker and the Fear Enigma, very targeted ban, something EG have been running quite a bit of lately. But yeah, big team fight heroes for the most part getting removed here for Vici.
I think if Vici didn't take Wishrock, their Evil Geniuses might have snagged it up. Pretty good versus
Just for the
Prophet and
push, you
Spiritbreaker.
think?
It's not only that, it just offers a lot of control in fights, and it's just I think one of the most well-rounded supports, and it's something that Evil Geniuses also like to run at a decent amount. So some other heroes that are in high contention in between those two are, I think, Venge and Undying, I suppose.
As for EG, what else have they been running here? So I guess what are you expecting? Is this an Arteezy Lone Druid? Do they even consider giving it Universe in the offlane? Is that still up in the air?
Universe is still up in the air. They put on both. You want to see what the matchup is, though.
Vici Gaming's
Like, Lone Druid
turn to
can
pick.
just dumpster a lot of heroes in one-on-one situations if you have the right matchup. So
You're gonna grab the Dazzle. Pretty good way to deal with all these charges. Just TP and engrave your teammates early and drop the heal. Gives them even more physical damage output as well as more push potential.
they have very good control for the Spiritbreaker, though. In between Cold Snap, Tornado, the Roar,
10
and like
seconds
Dazzle, Heal Bombs, and
And the
Graves.
Root as well, for that matter.
It's just a ton of stuff that Spiritbreaker has to deal with.
Vici Gaming really trying to focus here on the strong lanes, not getting the Darkseer. So got a great Ion Shell bearer in the Spiritbreaker, and a lot of early pressure here potentially in the landing stage with the Death Prophet often winning her 1v1s. Darkseer, Spiritbreaker, strong duo. Still waiting to see what the Burning hero is going to be, though.
Something that some teams fail to do with a Death Prophet is have a very strong front line, so she can actually go in afterwards and siphon and get her exorcism damage off. Sometimes you want her as a main tank, but she
5
builds
seconds
like
remaining.
phase and Yules early, which is no HP. So having the Darkseer and a Spiritbreaker up in front, yeah, they're not gonna Spiritbreaker's not gonna be able to do that much, but as long as he gets controlled, then the Death Prophet should be able to do her work. And they actually seem to play very well around those type of heroes, like OD and Death Prophet. I think in particular for Vici, where some teams struggle to actually have a lot of effectiveness with these two heroes, but Vici in particular seem very, very good about playing around them.
Do you think Vici would even consider a Morphling here? That's been, like, I'd say the main go-to carry
10
for
seconds
the
remaining.
Chinese teams, Vici and LGD in particular.
Vici Gaming's turn to ban.
It's definitely a burning hero. But do you think it works this game?
I'm trying to think of what they would like to run. Morphling's I think a bit strange. He didn't get that
10
many
seconds
buffs,
remaining.
and he's been seeing a lot of presence in the Asian scene in
5
particular.
seconds remaining.
They seem to play really well around it, though. I think they kind of view it as a very different version of Morphling and Gyro in the sense that it fights pretty decently early, but it has like much greater survivability and split push. Because oftentimes you see Gyro building like Treads and Sage, and then they just fall off a lot because they just die all the time even with those items. And Morphling, he doesn't even have to build those items.
And he's
Vici
harder to kill.
Genius's
Yeah.
turn
So
to
he's-
ban.
they've shifted to the heavy fighters to kind of light fighters with a lot of survivability.
Well, we'll see if it's something Vici are looking for. They ban the Undying, so afraid of EG's just
10
strong
seconds
lanes and
remaining.
potential 5-man. And EG, they're going to be
Vici
safe. They ban
Gaming's
out the
turn to
Burning
pick.
Morphling. Curious what he'll play. Juggernaut is out there. We've seen a lot of Juggernaut picks as of late.
I don't like Juggernaut that much versus their lineup. Like even with spin, he still has to deal with root. There's a lot of physical damage coming out, and he can easily die if he's not careful with his spin. I think
What would you like to see here?
like Ember, I think, is pretty good, just because they don't have that great of disables.
So kind of in the same veins, a hero that can scale very hard.
Slark is difficult though. It
Takes a little longer to come online.
He gets controlled very hard by Invoker and team fights because there's real Ice Wall and Blast and Tornado are things that Slark can't really deal with easily until he gets BKB. That's one of the reasons I think Slark is not particularly strong this patch, although he's picked a decent amount, but he is nice with Ion Shell in particular, so having a melee hero as your one position is extremely good.
Potentially.
It's often banned against when you pick up a Slark. When you see eHome draft, they'll almost always ban a disruptor in the second phase when they want to. There's no disruption, there's like Abba shield, there's nothing like that to really keep them alive. But at the same time, they really haven't focused too much on burning a lot of farms, so it's okay if the Slark gets controlled a little bit, as long as he can create some ruckus amongst the EG lineup.
Well, we'll see if he has what it takes. As you said, has not gotten too much support. Kind of a difference from the way, like, say, LGD have been playing it, where they've gone more to the 4 Protect 1 than what we've seen in the past. So, well, Burn going to be handling that hero, and I mean, Akedi played as a really hard farmer. We've seen, like, Tumbo Man often go for that route, where he'll just play it for the ultra late game. But then, you know, can definitely be a hero that gets involved early. So we're underway now. It's Vici Gaming taking on EG. bo2 here. The group stages went really late yesterday, and so they moved some of the games around. So we're wrapping them up today, and then we go right into the playoff bracket. Overall, Ben.
I would say I like Vici's a little bit more, even though I think the Slark pick, like, Slark's not going to have that easy of a time. I like the synergy in between there a lot more. The Darkseer plus Death Prophet is, like, exceptionally strong in team fight, and I think EG are going to have a lot of trouble if Invoker is not, you know, on top of his game. Thinking whether or not they should even run like a Quas Wex Invoker because of the amount of control provides versus like a Slark, even like the Tornado against the Surge, the Dark, everything pretty much is where the Tornado EMP can just really control them. So I think the Quas Wex is a pretty good option this game.
Yeah, I wonder if Sumail goes that route. We saw a whole lot of the Miracle Invoker, but it was Quas Exhort, and a very heavy Quas Exhort at that. He won't even take like the 1 value point in Wex until level sometimes 5. We'll see Artesia the safe lane as the lone druid here as EG trot out to the lanes. He's got the bear scouting things out. Meanwhile, Vici, a raiding party, 5 heroes heading towards mid. Looks like they did get scouted. Smoke just barely being broken there. So they wanted to get into this EG jungle early, but there's nobody to find. Don't think they dropped any wards, and they're just going to walk away.
Yeah, if you watch Vici's game yesterday, they played like pretty together as a team. And EG, they play well late, but they don't split push and delay, I think, as well as OG did yesterday. So I think they might have to take the fight early as opposed to go for like a Force Spirit split push. Although Force Spirit synergizes pretty well with their heavy physical Slardar and Dazzle.
Yes, and just the pushing potential of a lone druid. Well, the bear gonna get charged, and he still gets it anyway.
Yeah,
well played there. And we'll do quite a bit of damage to it, but Artesia will be very happy.
That's good. They got a charge out of it too. Fenrir's like has to wait a little bit for some charge mana, and then use a charge on this Siphon too. So for both runes, it's value. Okay, so Sumail has started off with Quas. It looks like. Still not sure if it's gonna be Quas Wex or Quas Exort. And Disruptor is also like sometimes you'll see like versus a Spirit Breaker, like the 4 position just sit in mid constantly, kind of
and protect against him. Yeah.
We had the days of the 2v2 in the mid constantly with the Bane, the Winter Wyvern, but those days are kind of gone. But
I'm pretty glad about that. That was getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's mostly with this SF. I mean, Invoker's so strong he doesn't need any help. Are you happy about that?
Well, I personally enjoy a good Invoker game, but I might get sick of him at this rate. He's starting to become a little too much in pubs, that's for sure. Well, having a good start here, Sumail is 3-3 already in the mid lane.
So Quas Exort for him, at least early.
Well, I gotta see this Darkseer Lone Druid matchup. Oh, there's a charge on the mid lane, but Sumail had the Cold Snap ready. It's gonna interrupt it. Only a level 1 Spirit Breaker. I'll still give him some auto attacks.
But that's good for him. He doesn't have to have the another support sit there. That's what you want when you deal with the Spirit Breaker. You don't want that much kill potential in your lanes, or else it just far demands too much from your supports.
So we'll see Burning getting the safe lane farm. He's 4-0 right now. Not having the easiest time here. You know, Universe 9-1.
The Spirit Breaker is trying to draw the supports away from this bottom lane so that Slark can free up some farm, but Spirit Breaker is not really able to get a kill in either of the two lanes.
He's gonna head top instead.
Yeah, they have Roar, like to bottom rush him, he just roars and then runs away. And Spirit Breaker is very low on mana. I don't even know if he has any clarities on him.
His top lane not going too great for the Darkseer. Already 6 denies on RTZ. And I think this was what we saw the last time the matchup was played out. I'll try for the charge here.
So does he have Roar yet? Z4?
RTZ backing off. He does get caught out, but Fenrir gonna have a hard time dishing out the damage. They're even gonna commit a surge from Ice. Does he want to dive the tier 2 tower? He's in range now with the Ion Shell, burning him down. Heavy commitment. They do have another charge available. Hanging on to it for now, but Ice almost goes down first the tower. Great aggro juggling there by Vici. Big dive, no rotation in sight. Often you will see a TP scroll up on the Dazzle, but not expecting that he would need to TP early, I guess. And well, they might use 2 here. One goes down to the neutrals, and it'll be Fenrir probably dropping as well. So they get the first blood, but it is pretty big investment to get it as well.
I think in this sort of situation where you're trying to aggro and all you need to do is be self-sufficient in your lanes, it might be worth picking up Roar at 2 instead of the typical 4, just for this particular situation. Because if he has Roar, there's no way they get a kill on him, and they because they clearly want the supports on the bottom lane, or else they just would have TP'd a T2 and saved them. But they want to keep up pressure on the Slark because Slark's not that strong of a laner, and
it's working. I mean, you can see the Slardar's farming exceptionally well.
It is, but they gave up first blood and he lost his life. So it's not a great situation for EG. It could have been better, but that's not an easy call to make because you lose some lane control if you don't pick up Roar, or if you pick up Rabbit at 4 instead of 2. So you can't really blame RTZ for it. It's just kind of how the game progressed.
Yeah, as for the mid lane, it started off a bit slow for our Death Prophet, but she's caught up nicely, sitting 11-4 for Super. As EG are dealing with a graphics bug. There's been a, well, I guess you'd call it a pretty massive patch today in terms of kind of the engine. A lot of FPS improvements, tweaks, changes. Not a lot of very visible stuff. And then, of course, the hats. So that's a dead cow. Ice.
I'm trying to think of any
blaming Eternal Envy for everything.
For him to not die there.
I love how he immediately starts blaming Envy. That's rich. EOTK. Did you see his name yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just envy things. What does that even mean? Envy of the king?
I noticed in the patch notes they said that the players are required to play with their names that they use upon registration.
Or they immediately get booted out of the tournament, sent packing. That's just wishful thinking by me. It's so bad with Ice that Falat's just like taken to asking in the lobby, like, can he please use his real name this time? Please, mercy. But good luck getting Ice to use his real name. It's like a point of pride with some of the players that they, they're rebels. You can't force them to kowtow. They're not gonna get in line for you.
No Super Saiyan here. That's a rarity.
Sumail going with the retro look.
Mm-hmm. Unusual. Great helm with the long name people.
The long name people.
Okay.
Also his head's kind of cuffed there. Well, EG are ready. That would be nice if they were the ones missing a player, but we're waiting on Spearbreaker to get
They are
back
ready
in the
to
game.
fight down here, though. Double Fairy Fire on the Disruptor. Like, they're looking for an opportunity to dive.
It seems like most supports are grabbing the early Fairy Fires now. At least one, just to have that playmaking ability when they're diving you. I've seen it turn countless First Bloods at this point, and that's just still fairly young, so... Fenrir will deny himself to the neutrals. He's going to be right back in the action now as he congeal here.
So the question is, who's Spirit Breaker going to charge next? Is he going to try and keep pressure at LD? If he kills him another time, he's not going to have Bear for like a minute. Or is he going to try and secure Burning's farm in the bottom lane? And so Spirit Breaker's still looking for opportunity to charge. I don't think he's charging Invoker yet. He's just walking mid.
There's just so many ways to interrupt it, whether it's the Cold Snap, the Tornado, the Glimpse back.
He wants mana though. Like he...
Maybe it could go on
You can
Sumail.
charge and then maybe wait for a 4-minute rune and charge again. I don't... It's sometimes you can find a window too in between the cold snap cooldowns, but it's not easy though.
Well, the Hill Ward's gonna make it nigh impossible here.
Yeah.
Sumail will tank the Siphon quite a bit.
He's hoping he uses cold
Looking
snap.
for the punish here.
Dire's top tower
He's
is
close to
under
having the
attack.
mana available for another Crypt Swarm.
They wanted to use he wanted him to use cold snap on Death Prophet right there, and Death Prophet was playing super aggro, but they couldn't bait it out because there's no other way to stop it if he only has Quaswex.
Or Quas Exort.
Quas Exort, yeah.
PPD will grab the Invis Rune. Bounty spawning top meanwhile. Sumail is being forced to play pretty defensively here though. Still doing decently in terms of the CS.
Yeah, he doesn't have a cold snap invoke though. He has 3 Quas ready, but it's not that easy for him.
He's making it look like he might have it.
Yeah,
invoked.
maybe he's trying to bait it though. Looks like
He's got the invoke ready to go, so he could quickly invoke it and turn it.
I'm sure he could. It's nighttime and he has good vision though, so he'll have plenty of time to click on the Spirit Breaker before.
So move in from the Death Prophet now, trying to get more aggressive here on Sumail in the mid lane. But Sumail back off. They keep the pressure up mid. They relieve the pressure on the lone druid, but with that one kill,
You know what might need
that's
to
a lot
happen?
of ice to get back in.
Death Prophet can consider getting 1 level early of silence if they want to put pressure on the invoker. Like it's not a typical build, but it's an option with the way they want to play. Because Fenrir, he's like been homing in on mid for like the last 3 minutes. If they have a silence, they can actually maybe connect on a kill there.
Seems like they may just try to abuse the level potential of a Darkseer. He's gonna start off in the jungle top and they'll rotate the Spirit Breaker into the lane, so seems Vici are content to maximize their experience right now. Sunstrike coming to mid lane. It is a nice connection by Sumail, but not enough for the kill. It's only a level 1 glimpse. Doesn't have the range. And in fact, now the charge comes on to Sumail. They might even go back in on him. Disruptor is in position. Fenrir. Still only level 1. So much for getting levels. He's already back in the mid lane. They're going to try to turn this. They glimpse him back. They cold snap him. But the Siphon begins to go to work onto Sumail. Heavy damage from Super. We'll force him back, at least for the time being. How's our bottom lane doing? Slark 15-1, but 33-5 at 6 minutes here. Universe getting all kinds of farm in the off lane. They do charge. They will connect. And Fear gets smacked down by the Lantern Man. Vici Gaming grabbing another kill on Bounty Rune as well. Meanwhile, Arteezy looks like he's ready to start getting some roots.
That's desperately needed for the Spirit Breaker. He was falling really behind in terms of levels, but now he finally has it. I'm very surprised to see the Spirit Bear not go for Iron Talon. It's pretty good versus the Darkseer, because like in between like having a Midas and a Iron Talon, you just annihilate the Ion Shell creeps. And Darkseer is like, okay, well, what do I do in the lane now?
It just helps your jungling in general when you leave the lane as well. So.
Yeah, I think it pays for itself pretty quickly. Maybe like
I'd say the vast majority of lone druids that I've seen in this have gone for it right away. Usually their first big item, along with the boots.
It also helps you push out lanes though. When you get Radiance, you can use it on the siege creep, and you can actually, you know, get that kill perhaps, instead of it being super resistant to Radiance burn.
Well, for now, the Spirit Breaker has made his way back towards top. He's the big piece that keeps on moving around the map, and meanwhile, Ice getting aggressive here with the Ion Shell onto Arteezy. Maybe he wants to turn and try to finish off that Spirit Bear, but not an easy kill. And they have rotated the the Disruptor rather up top as well. So he's going to be forced to drop Kinetic Field. Gets vacked back by Ice. It's a level 2 vac already. No points in the wall just yet.
Fenrir is so patient though with his charges. He's just sitting there waiting for Disruptor to overstep his boundary.
Pretty even laning stage, it feels like overall. Vici getting those early kills, but EG pulling a bit ahead in terms of the CS department.
Slaughter like the one here they don't want to give an early blink to, because that can just spell immediate doom for Death Prophet in a lot of these fights, because she has no armor.
It will be a fast one. Just opts for the Tranquil boots, so...
Has she built any armor? Or is it just...
Death
no?
Prophet?
Yeah.
Probably not yet.
Okay.
Just the phase
Radiant's
boots.
middle tower is under attack.
It's gonna be tough for her to survive. With Spirit Breaker slightly under level 2, he's not gonna be able to tank as much as you want him to.
Yeah, has managed to get level 3.5. Catching up a bit in the top lane as there's a charge on mid, looking for the Invoker, but now that it's daytime as well, gonna be quite tricky to approach Sumail.
Once they get silenced though, you just silence and use your link and then just go on them.
That's where
Connect with
PPD
charge
can come in handy, as well as your
you'll still die
disruptor.
though. Like, you want this Invoker to feel pressured a lot. And you want these supports to try and move out of bottom, but they're still parked there.
What are you expecting from Bernie in this game? Is this like just a fight early Slark game? Just get those cheap, cost-effective items out?
Yeah, I think so. He can pressure the Lone Druid in between the Midas and the Radiance, especially with the help of the Spirit Breaker. It's more so that kind of game. I think like EG with double Midas on Voger and LD and a Blink on Slaughter will be able to farm and kill very easily with like a Blink Crush into Sunstrike. So I think that Vici have to be the aggressors here. At least until the Radiance. Maybe after the Radiance they take it a little bit slower, but they need to make sure that...
There's a glimpse back. They have found Ice here. They're going to get the root as well. Sunstrike coming through, but he's able to tank through it all. And Arteezy's the one that has to run. The charge gallops in. Fenrir going to connect there onto Arteezy, and they've already committed their whole arsenal of spells to try and kill him off. He's going to go for the TP after the Grave. Looks like he should make it. Oh, the cask just a bit too late to catch him out. So PPD does his job, saves his carry. But he will end up paying with his own life, and now EG, with nobody in the lane to control it, are going to quite possibly lose their tower. A couple little boinks in the fountain for good measure. The tower may drop to this, it looked like.
He has to be really careful not to give up kills like that, because Fenrir is just waiting for EG to overstep anywhere, and then like just for them to use their cooldowns, and then can't stop the charge, and then people die, and then they just lose a tower because they don't actually have to be the aggressors because they have the better greedy lineup.
Look at this. Burning does opt for Midas here.
Ooh. How did he farm someone? That's pretty fast, I would say, for the...
He didn't get the treads or the Aquila.
Yeah, I think it's still pretty fast for Brown Boots Mingo.
Well, they also moved the Disruptor top to help out, so
Yeah,
he didn't have to.
That's by Fenrir, though. He got a kill on...
Oh, hello! Universe with the quick blink reveal. And they'll immediately collect the kill on the... of all heroes, the Death Prophet. Probably the ideal one to kill.
Radiant's
Yep,
middle
that's-
tower is under attack.
That's kind of what EG was hoping for. Like, you get the early blink on Universe, and then Death Prophet, like, you slow her down so much once you get a kill like this, because then you get the tower, and Death Prophet has a lot of trouble taking down the other T1s. So that's when you're Death Prophet, you're like, oh no, he has blink already, and you're in a bad spot, because you don't have any HP, you want to build Yules, but then you won't have any armor, and you'll still die to a blink crush combo. So now it's kind of up to the supports to make sure that they have good wardage, so that the third doesn't gank them without a smoke, make sure that they're probably sitting behind. But this is, one of the problems of not having a true defensive support on your team is that the Dazzle is very, very vulnerable.
As for the rest of the players, items are coming out now. We see a double Midas online for EG, as the Lone Druid just picked his up. Sumail has already had his for some time now, and Arteezy is going to retreat into the jungle.
Still no quelling, though.
Meanwhile, they get the mech. Oh, Arteezy is going to get the Quelling Blade now. But they get the mech up on the Darkseer, so curious if each are going to try to force some engagements here.
Time. If they split up too much, then Death Prophet will just keep dying and be useless. So Universe is just looking for, hey, anyone want to farm out alone? Oh, nice.
They're going to make their move. They found Sumail. He's the leader in terms of net worth this game. Great pick by Vici. Their smoke ganks have been very successful this tournament, and
Ooh, and it's nighttime.
continues here.
Time for Slark to shine.
Or try anyway. Burning is going to join the team. Was involved in that gank, and looks like they want to push the mid lane. Fenrir took quite a bit of damage with the amp on him as well, and Burning will clear out the way of Vici Gaming. Clustering up here, they are not using Exorcism.
They're still much stronger as 5, though.
Wondering if they want to even pressure a tier 2, or if they'll back off after taking this.
They have Exorcism. I think they can keep going.
They're not using it, which would suggest they want to for more objectives.
They have the mech, but Death Prophet's still a little slow on the Yules after...
Does he have any other components?
I don't think so.
Uh-oh, super. Spend your gold, my friend. Gets caught by the Sunstrike. He is going to Exorcism, has the backup from Ice, and with the mech support, they drop the wall. He'll make it out, but they got to get something out of this one. Universe doesn't have the mana, but he's got a Mango available. If he could get a Crush off, maybe that'd be enough to keep him alive. Nope. Exorcism finishes him off. Nice takedown by or by Vici, I should say. And Super at the same time does get caught out by the glimpse, the pull back into a static storm. Can they finish him off? You betcha. Nice turnaround for EG though. They kill the Death Prophet. They force out the Exorcism, but then they give up a secondary kill, losing not only the Slardar, but also the Sumail Invoker. A huge grab. Martizi praying for the root right now. Is he gonna get it? Where's that root when you need it? Nice. Able to surge himself away. They did lose the Witch Doctor elsewhere.
They had a buyback on Slardar. Whew. That's tough. I guess
you can argue he's already got Blink, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, but still, Vici getting 2 cores there. Exorcism is down though, so EG maybe gonna try to take advantage. They do have Slaughter, and yeah, into the Roshan pit they go right away, just playing around the cooldowns.
They have that great ward over there too, to make sure that they can do it very safely. I think they... Oh, hello.
Hey, Burning. Hey, just wanted to scout a little bit, but it's not going to be so easy for him. They drop the kinetic field here. Maybe looking for the glimpse back for the old man. But he did slow this Roshan down quite a bit just with that quick jump in. And elsewhere, Fenrir on the charge. There's a leap forward by Burning. He's going to commit his ultimate, but he does get crushed during this time. Kinetic field gets dropped again. And Burning is going to have to back the root, immediately purged off Arteezy. Struggling to find any easy kills in this fun, but Vici Gaming, they do buy some time now. They get the whole team in position, and Exorcism is going to come off cooldown very soon. So
that was an amazing play by Slark, just running in there as like knowing that he's not going to die versus 4 heroes. That's, I think he approached from the south side too when the ward was on the the northwest side, and he had Shadow Dances, so he was able to just, Dark Pact in, scout him out, and delay the Roche. That would have been a very good momentum swing for EG, because it buys time for their second items to come up online after Midas, but now they're still in that phase where their Midas still has not paid off yet.
And in fact, it's actually Vici who are going to be in the driver's seat momentarily. It looks like they do get the Blink Crush off though. Sunstrike maybe going to connect there, and it does. Is it enough to finish off Super? Not quite. Meanwhile, Sumail getting thrown up in the air, drop back down. He just completed his Yule Scepter. They're going to lose Arteezy. EG's core is on the run. Almost taking down the Invoke as well. It's up to Universe to turn this fight. He gets the Crushed off, finishes off Burning. Beautifully played there, but they are fighting into the Exorcism. It's too much firepower. EG just can't take the pounding. Universe trying for the Crush to interrupt the charge. The timing not quite right, and now Siphon combined with the Silence comes out. The Cask will bounce back and forth onto Universe again. Oh, those bounces are a thing of beauty for Vici.
Dragons.
They bring down, I think that was 4 in total.
That was a really late Ferocious War from Arteezy. I think his bear might have got caught by the...
Ferocious?
What's it called?
It's Savage.
Savage
No.
Roar?
I was just,
Savage Roar.
that was like,
Roar.
it should be, what's less than Savage? Like, slightly intimidating Roar? Brutal? Okay.
Brutal still sounds pretty...
Sounds worse. Well, equally bad. Ferocious sounds
Timid Roar.
Timid. I like that. That's how I imagine
It came really late, though. I think Darkseer was the MVP for me that fight. He countered the initiation very well. They had a Blink Crush and then Sunstrike onto the the Death Prophet, and then he vacuum walled and then he mechs so the Death Prophet could stay alive, counter with the Silence, and then no one else could get their spells off. Ideally you want to be able to roar the other heroes and just focus down one. Especially when they're stunned, you don't really care if they're roared or not because they're not moving.
And we've seen this from Ice. Oh, 2 smokes. Hold that thought, EG. Making their move in. They're down in the river right now. Burning's got the high ground position to maybe jumpstart the fight. There's the Yule Scepter on the Slark. Static Storm coming through. Does keep him in position, but Fenrir in the middle of it as the Spirit Breaker just tanking up a storm. The Death Prophet not so lucky though. She'll go down. They've lost 2 cores. Make it 3 with the Spirit Breaker now dropping. A support dropping as well, and they've got Ice. Alright, that would be the biggest kill of all. They crush him. They catch him out. He's their leader in terms of net worth, and down 2 he will go. 4 fall. EG all day. Just destroying the Death Prophet at the start of the fight, and from there, Vici never had a chance.
Good combo from the Disruptor and the Invoker. That was a great Static Storm. Dropped it right in the middle of the fight, and then with a Kinetic Field immediately after. Nice Meteor, Sunstrike, and they could not fight into that with Exorcism at all. They also didn't have wall at the start of the fight.
Yeah, it just shows you what happens when Death Prophet dies that early.
Yeah, and
No,
EG don't revolve around their ultimates. Static Storm's somewhat important, but it's not that long of a cooldown.
And the rest of it's very low cooldown, whether it's a Blink Crush or... I mean, pretty much anything Invoker has is still fairly manageable. Yep. So the game will slow down a bit now. Vici Gaming Not going to feel nearly as confident fighting the Aegis. This Wolf-like time for Arteezy is... it looks like still quite a ways off of the Radiance here. Only 1,600 gold up on the hero. I did opt to complete the phase boots, so... He's not exactly rushing it, but it's definitely not the fastest Radiance timing.
I think both teams are doing a really good job of identifying the weakness of their team and trying to capitalize on it. Vici are trying to hit that, like, where before the Lone Druid gets really big. They're pushing a lot of towers. They're smoking the Ancients. They're
fighting around the Death Prophet ult.
Yeah, they're fighting around Death Prophet ult. They're just trying to kill them before their Midases come online. And the EG, they're fighting when their very long cooldown ultimates aren't up. So now I actually think it's up to Slark. Slark has Midas. Did he go for Shadowblade?
He's got 1,900 gold, so I'm not sure he's bought anything just yet. There's a charge on the PPD, another strike coming through here in the bottom lane, but it's not an easy solo kill unless you get the bash and the silence of, oh, the timing. But maybe Universe could turn this one around. They nearly kill off Fenrir under the tower. EG trying to hold their ground here, but the back wall connects them to pounce forward. Beautiful grab by Burning. It allows them to take down 2 supports as they hunt for more. They'd love to pick off Arteezy here in the trees, and they do get the Yule Scepter connection. Ghost quickly chunking down the Spirit Bear, but they want to kill off the real hero too, if possible. Leap forward, there's the Death Lord with the cast from the high ground. FY making the plays, 4 have fallen now. Vici Gaming all day, even sharing the Sunstrike damage. The true teamwork comes into play now. My god, the execution. Brilliant stuff from Vici.
Ooh, that Spirit Bear gets destroyed by the bond from Death Prophet.
Yeah, he killed off the bear, then he almost killed off the hero instantly.
He doesn't, like, Death Prophet doesn't have that much HP, but when you're constantly getting healed by the bear, it's
Sunstrike after the glimpse is going to be enough to catch out Mr. Ice Ice Ice, and down he goes, but now the turn, Burning jumping back in, suddenly a double kill. The Blink Dagger surprise, they weren't ready for that one, and he might even catch a third out here. Invoker's out pretty far. EG just got done losing 4, they can't afford to lose another 4. Looks like they'll manage to escape there with the Invoker, but... Well, I was going to ask you about the Blink Dagger, but it's clearly already paid for itself after that. Another 1,000 gold in his pockets.
Yep, he needs to be able to just get the jump on, like Disruptor or Dazzle or Invoker, pretty much anyone very early on. But now they have another frontliner. They have 3 frontliners, so Death Prophet can do her thing. Nice Greaves pick up too by the Darkseer. I think that actually like was very close to saving the Witch Doctor, and then he managed to like heal up and turn around with that sick cask and a Death Ward. That was disgusting.
It was a rough sequence of events for the Dazzle as well, with the bash, then he tries to grave himself, he gets silenced, then he gets bashed again, and...
What's the Lone Druid's item progression?
He's still working on the relic.
He really needs his Radiance. Like,
oh, that's the beautiful thing for Vici, is not only did they win a fight, but they're winning fights before the relics even out. And they're killing the Lone Druid repeatedly.
But see, Vici, still, they're doing a really good job. Okay, they had the Aegis on EG, but they're not scared to fight into it. They know that if they just let them farm Radiance plus whatever items on Evoker, they're going to be in a bad spot. So they just keep on fighting and fighting and fighting, sacrificing some kills here and there, but overall, like, Lone Druid is really underfarmed considering the situation.
And all of a sudden, the Slardar, not as scary as a plate mail has been picked up on the Death Prophet. Already the Darkseer with the Greaves, he's got a lot of plus armor to work with. And
is Spearbreaker building Vlad's?
They have an Aquila, hasn't really got anything. Oh, is there something coming on the courier?
Something else, okay.
I guess the Ogre Club? Oh no, he's going Shadowblade, okay.
That's good too. You can jump the Invoker very often. I don't think they'll have to gem for a while, especially because they know Slark didn't go Shadowblade, so that's good for them.
Yeah, and you mentioned how EG have a lot of control for Spearbreaker, but well, if he gets the ambush off, it's gonna be hard to split push. So Burning now group up with the team top lane. Looks like Vici want to take this tier 2. They have Exorcism ready. Death Prophet off in their own jungle, where the Lone Druid is to the south, but Vici continue to apply that pressure to the north. They've got the high ground here. Sumail, gotta be careful. Has gone back for a Blink Dagger after getting his point booster.
So Vici, their next goal, they know that EG doesn't want to fight, but they need to make sure that they don't secure the next Roche. And it's gonna be pretty, short respawn? It's gonna be what, 20-second respawn? Yeah, it's...
Hasn't...
Oh, 20 after the 8.
Yeah.
That's pretty short. So
That's about
Vici
as
need to
short as it
control
gets.
that. EG just really want that, and then buy time for Radiance, and then fight from there. But like this lone druid is just getting destroyed, timidly, brutally, savagely, ferociously.
Meanwhile, PPD is going to get picked off. A whole squad of Vici heroes up in the dire jungle, but well, only the Dazzle, and this is going to free up the bottom lane where we see more aggressive pressure
Slark's also very nice.
from the Slardar.
They banned out the Night Stalker, right? So it's like if you don't have Night Stalker for map control, you can use the Slark Vision, and they knew they didn't have a ward up there, so anyone who's walking in there is walking up there blind.
He's a good buddy for the space camp.
Is under attack.
And goes well with the Ion Shell too. Kind of along the lines of an Ember in that regard. Oh, Vici. They're going to take down the tier 2 on the back of that Dazzle kill, so perhaps bigger than what I was expecting. Gives them even more map control. While that's going on, they're also moving on top. They'd love to kill Arteezy again. Blink not complete on the Darkseer. Needs to get it delivered, but gives them even more initiation potential. And man, Ice has been on point for Vici this tournament. 2 huge games as Phoenix yesterday that we saw, and again having a great performance here on the Darkseer. What's Bernie going for?
BKB.
BKB. He's almost got it too.
It's the item of choice for his Disruptor.
At that point, the Disruptor really has no impact.
And they don't, like, they can't keep amp up on him either, so it's not like he's gonna die. Maybe with a lot of weave stacks, but even then he still has his ulti, so it's all good.
Yeah, you're gonna need some sick Invoker combos to kill him. Finally, Arteezy does close in on the Radiance, but it is quite delayed here, and
Yeah.
the amount of towers Vici have taken, they've got a lot of gold even on their supports.
I think standard timing's around like 21 minutes for Midas Radiance. So 4 minutes delayed. I guess he didn't go Iron Talon though. I wonder how much of a difference that would have made. But here we
Yeah,
go.
I wonder if it might have even just been flat out faster.
Oh.
Smoke Gank gets interrupted though. Super was ready for this one. They dropped the wall, but it's not really in the best position as EG just retreat back from it. They still chase forward. Exorcism going to work, almost finishing off Universe. There's the Grave from PPD, keeps him alive at the backpack. Blind Size into the cast. Great combination for Vici. I mean, again, netting them kills on supports. The Dazzle will drop and they hunt forward. Looking for Arteezy, the bears being siphoned and controlled as Fenrir gallops towards the back lines. The Static Storm even forced out from this. They've routed EG. They only get the one Dazzle kill, but immediate ping onto the bottom lane. Maybe Vici can grab that tier 2.
Vici's so good though. That anticipation of being around the Roche pit, knowing that you would go for a smoke play in the Roche, or just smoke into Roche, and they're around that area to kind of dissuade that, and the Death Prophet too.
And
As
quick
soon-
reactions by
Yeah.
Super as well. Instant grab there on the Slardar.
It's a great combo though, the vacuum and the cast. It's, I don't want to say as good as like a AoE stun, but it's like you know, like a Stormbolt or a Impale, but it's almost better because it's way easier to coordinate. Like as just cast there, you just throw it and they're stunned for way longer than normal.
Teased out pretty far. Just picked up the beacon, so he can really up this. He's gonna go straight onto the Lone Druid. They will finish him off very early in the engagement before he can truly push out the damage. Meanwhile, Super hanging on, dodging away, kiting, controlling. 5 down in a seconds because oh my god, clients. Well, that was all had with a death war. Clean up. G full wiped out. Cheek. I mean, that was about as ugly as it gets. So they have not managed to hit their timings, and now they're going to be punished less than their power. Vici and
That Scythe is. You see her just run around, circle the sort of.
literally running circles around. All aboard the Death Prophet merry-go-round. You're gonna be dizzy trying to get off. For the, looks like he's gonna clear the Agreen first here. Super, just the casual vape mail. This Vici for their first major act again. Start the series.
Dude, wow, this
They
game
have
has
been
super
dominant.
impressive for me from Vici. Like their teamwork and like how they play the EG next is incredible.
Yeah, they seem a lot more comfortable. And remember, this was a slightly changed roster with the addition of Bernie. It's a different style of table. And
What's cool to me is how they Spirit Breaker a lot. Like oh, they have Invoker, they have heroes that are really hard to kill. The Spirit Breaker, they're like are so
charging in onto the Lone Druid. He does get the jump to the north. Can they lock him down? The Ion Shell's going to spin a bit. Easy starting to drop very quick. With his own illusion chasing him down. Really booking it out.
Cat blade. Almost got him. They need to be careful though. They don't have a wall up.
They're gonna get hype here. That's right. In the Radiance one. Very active.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed.
I mean, we didn't even really see it in the last fight, but he got a double kill in the backliners without a scepter.
Big problem is they have to DP early on in the fight.
Yeah, but she's too tanky.
Well, they've been very close sometimes, but good mech agreed.
Yeah, and they don't have the best defensive supports, which but just from ice sight and
Yeah. It puts
hard
enough
to
time
kill.
for he like siphons a couple of targets and then immediately tosses her.
And they will really get Slardar as well.
Just last breath for you. And we need to make this go catastrophically for them. Do they have a vision though? Around the pit?
Burning, getting back to Wallace's thing.
Yeah, they're like you have to be asshole because you would almost certainly for the if you had it.
And it's Vici out of the pit into battle. Fenrir, as usual, leading the charge, linking it dice. Universe though is gonna get crushed this one, but the pound scored immediately from Bird. He's committed to the BKB on it, right off the pitcher, down the launcher to get popping the ultimate on the slug. Everything committed for RT. They're gonna cancel the team out the rim. And get this RT will drop. They have lost their figure. Well worth it for Vici Gaming as they hunt forward, looking for Universe. Tries to turn, gets off the crush. Can they run him down? So treat his PPD to the north of the EG of that. Two squads of two desperately backing off Druid for a Spear Breaker, but the back right away. Find a kill on the Spark out there. Bernie had already committed everything. His ultimate, he didn't have much left to first. Very scattered engagement. Now looking for the retreats. You have to be careful not to get caught in the kiting, the control, super in the charge back into a vacuum. Vici Gaming finding their footing in the second round of this fight. They bring down the Slardar as well. No buyback on Loader. PP trying to TP out. He's going to be allowed to skip through another death. EG really racking them. Just burning. Well, seems it was worth it in the end, Vici.
Thing, it's even the small things. You see the vacuum? He vacuumed as Break was charging. He had to charge extra here. These small things like coordination from.
I mean, that was before they got these items. Octarine out on the Death Prophet, Pipe now, counter that Radiant Spur.
Yeah, got this
on the Darkseer, but that's. No, that was without a Death Ward too. Really gotta worry if EG and you still can't win a fight when none of those things came into play yet.
Yeah, starting the fight like at 50% HP, which is, you know, they just wanted to make sure that EG didn't get up on them. But
it's right back to the Roche pit. If you want to make this their home.
Yeah, EG have to hold this if they want to win the game.
And they know to throw out the Sunstrike. They're gonna see nothing's happening in the.
They still pretty good Roche fight too. Like only one BKB on the Slark. Like DP's still like I don't want to say somewhat vulnerable, but like she's still kind of a prime target because she doesn't have a BKB, but she has a lot of HP, a lot of armor.
And now there's a pipe too. I don't know. Like she's got to really be out of position to die.
Gotta kill her. Well, she doesn't have exorcism, so maybe not. But how long until?
It's got to be soon with the Octarine.
That's go.
2 seconds, and right when EG go into the pit, Vici Gaming are up on the high ground. They charge forward. They are going to smell up on a cliff and down for the count. Out of the picture now, up the wall, top of Ocean. Static Storm does connect on quite a few heroes trapped on top of the cliff, but Vici are just so damn tanky, and Birdie's gonna leap down into the go super, getting out the bear as they focus PPD. They want to kill to stop him from PPD. However, will out, so they lose the Dazzle. The dance first on hunting towards Val. The Yule Lifter comes through, and now the Ghost will convert. Suman get up quickly, so too will super. There's a spin. Super needs a little more time to back, keeping him all. Stephanie Price just managed to lock him to finish the cast one through, but it's not bounced too much. Just wants to spell. Universe a beautiful skip by EG. It's their turn to get out safely. It seems barely with their lives, but they do make it home. The cliff was just really unfortunate for VD. Somehow 3 heroes up there.
Still not that. They got the Invoker, but unfortunately that top hit is not as tanky as like for the B. But they don't have opportunity for still dead for 30 seconds. Spear Breaker, here you back before. won't be up. I don't think Vici have to concede.
Well, they keep on banging their head against the brick wall that is Roshan, but it seems their time may be the charm, unless Burning had something to say about it. Last time he walked in the pit, it worked out beautifully, but he's not going to quite get in there. So Sumail will gauge us as a hard-fought battle. Scrappy little engagement from EG, but they do claim it. It's really not a lot here in terms of net worth, though. So their work by no means done.
It didn't seem like the rest of the team had followed Super in as deep as he went. He got a little isolated at the end, and they were trying to fight the Invoker in the Slaughter. I guess no one's really as fast.
Yeah, and he had already used the Yules. I think the wall had already been committed elsewhere in the pit. They did have a pipe anymore. The Greaves were on cooldown, so a lot of those defensive abilities had already been committed.
Yeah, but it was just going for the Invoker kill, knowing that if they kill him, they just rotate because of the. But EG will
close. He almost got it.
It was just need a little bit of extra help from anyone.
Well, it does go to your point. Maybe he needs that additional defensive item. We'll see if he's going to go Shivas or BK up to 2k gold.
BKB's definitely safer.
Burning gets his first big offensive item now.
Yeah.
Grabbing the Scotty.
Fine.
I mean, EG can deal with a Superarm. He's getting there.
They kite really well.
At BKB.
Yeah, with great. Like they have Root, they have Ash, they have Aegis now. I think the rest of the team follow the start because you have the BK on, like, let's say Speedbreaker. They don't have BK on
Darkseer. Yeah.
Dark Blink was like not as big, but that's. I think a lot of this is on the Darkseer Witch Doctor. If they can combine their fights, like if Slark jumps someone that doesn't like if Disruptor or Dazzle, and then the rest team kind of plot around it, and Darkseer follows up, then that's exactly the type of fight you're looking for. I'm not sure if they get an opportunity. They're getting a lot of armor items too.
FY trying to build his damn Aether Lance. Finally, the item will cooperate. Third time was the charm.
They have Medallion, they have Weave, they have Plate Mail on RTZ, soon to be an AC.
And they're gonna need every bit of it if that Death Ward and Exorcism are on point.
That's a great Observer word too. They might pop the smoke in. So, oh no, those two supports!
EG. Uh-oh, could get caught out. Meanwhile, RTZ up in front. It's a BKB initiation from the Burning. Oh, straight villager. The Death Ward ushering them all the way, and down for the count is RTZ. Sumail gonna drop almost instantly as well. That's the Aegis down. So they've lost one core for sure, probably two. Sumail trying desperately to hang on, but a swarm of ghosts with the Siphon. No chance he makes it out. That's three that have fallen for EG, plus an Aegis. Vici getting the clutch initiation in the middle of the lane.
RTZ cannot get jumped like that though, on his hero. He has to sit a little bit further back.
And they did a really good job at zoning everyone else back, so there was no Grave to save him, Dazzle to run, and just no chance for EG to turn the fight.
Lone Druid usually gets graved, but like even with grave he's still gonna die. Maybe he's used to playing around the Aegis a lot, but no such luxury this game.
Vici going directly down mid now, working on the tier 3 tower. Universe and PPD gonna sit back and watch it all happen. They don't have their Invoker, probably their single best hero to stall the push. It's gonna make things tricky for the Evil Geniuses. They do get a Blink Crush in, a Static Storm follow-up onto Burning. The BKB's about to cool down. No, the timing just not right for EG. All of a sudden, just like that, Universe is for the count. They're gonna lose more. Burning just continues to wail away at them under the tier 4s, and there's the GG. The Geniuses have been figured out in game 1 as Vici Gaming cruised to yet another win. And with that, I believe they guarantee that EG cannot tie them in the group.
Vici were relentless that game though. They were always making the Lone Druid feel pressured, like from like minute 3 when they got first blood on him, and his items were just so far delayed, and they just kept up pressure whenever they had a cooldown out, whether it be Death Ward, whether it be Darkseer Wall of Replica, whether it be Exorcism.